Snow drifted gently over the narrow streets of Annecy, a quiet lakeside town in the French Alps. Christmas lights glimmered on every balcony. Cafés shimmered with warm golden windows, and the scent of roasted chestnuts carried through the cold evening air. It felt like a place untouched by the rush of the world, a place where time slowed just enough for a tired soul to breathe. For Emma Carter, a 29-year-old photographer from Seattle, that stillness was exactly what she needed. Her life back home had become noise, constant deadlines, restless nights, and a breakup that left her drifting in her own skin. She wasn't searching for romance or inspiration. She just wanted a place to exhale. On her second morning in France, wrapped in a beige scarf and wool coat, Emma walked along the frozen edge of Lake Annecy. The early sunlight poured through the fog, casting soft reflections on the icy water. She raised her camera, trying to capture the delicate shimmer of winter. "Careful, the ice is thin there," a voice called behind her. Emma turned and saw a man in a navy coat, dark hair dusted with snow, and steady brown eyes. His smile was warm but cautious. "Thanks," she said, stepping back. "Guess I got a little too focused on the shot." "I can see that," he replied. "Your camera? American?" "Seattle," she said. "First time in this part of France." He nodded. "Welcome to Annecy. I'm Julien Moreau." They exchanged soft smiles, the cold air swirling between them. "If you want beautiful photos," Julien added, pointing toward the old town. "The canals look perfect in the morning." Emma hesitated, then grinned. "Would you show me?" Julien seemed surprised, but only for a moment. "Of course, I'd be glad to do." And just like that, beneath drifting snowflakes, something small but undeniable began to form. Walking beside Julien felt strangely natural. He had a calm way of speaking, as if every word had weight, but never urgency. He showed her hidden alleys, ivy-covered bridges, and a bakery that sold warm brioche so soft it melted on the tongue. Emma learned he was 33, a craftsman who restored wooden boats with his father. His hands were rough from work, but his voice carried a softness she hadn't expected. Over the next few days, they kept meeting, sometimes by plan, sometimes by chance. Coffee turned into long walks, walks turned into lingering dinners, and dinners became late-night conversations beneath glowing street lamps. Emma found herself capturing moments of Julien more than the town itself, drawn to the way he laughed, or paused mid-thought, or looked at the snowfall as if remembering pieces of his past. One evening, as they strolled beside the canal lined with holiday lights, Emma whispered, "I didn't expect to feel lighter here." Julien looked at her with gentle seriousness. "Sometimes a place gives you back what life takes from you." Their hands brushed, then slowly intertwined. The warmth startled them both, but neither pulled away. A week later, on a fog-heavy morning, Emma received a sudden call from Julien. His voice was tight, trembling. "Emma, I need you to come to the workshop. Please, it's bad." She hurried through the cold streets, snow crunching under her boots. When she reached the boat shed, her heart dropped. One side of the old structure had collapsed. Heavy beams splintered across the ground. Paramedics surrounded a stretcher. Julien was kneeling beside an older man, his father, pale and barely conscious. Emma ran toward him, placing a hand on his shoulder. Julien looked at her with wide, frightened eyes, as if the world had shifted beneath him. They rode behind the ambulance in heavy silence. Hours passed in the hospital waiting room, each minute stretching painfully. When the doctor finally spoke, his expression said everything before the words came. Severe injuries, multiple fractures, internal bleeding, a long, uncertain road. Julien's breath cracked, and Emma held him as he finally let go of everything he had been holding back. He pressed his forehead against her shoulder, silent tears warming her coat. She stayed with him until dawn, refusing to leave even when he told her she should rest. In the days that followed, Julien rarely left the hospital. Emma brought him food, blankets, updates from the workshop community. But guilt consumed him. He insisted the accident was his fault, that he should have reinforced the old beams, that he should have been there sooner, that he should have done everything differently. One evening, when exhaustion and fear finally overwhelmed him, Julien pulled away from Emma completely. "This is too much for you," he whispered. "You didn't come here to deal with my life falling apart. You deserve something better than this. You should go home, focus on your own future." Emma felt something inside her break. "Julien, I care about you. I'm here because I want to be." He shook his head, tears threatening again. "I can't ask this of you. I can't keep you here." And without another word, he walked away, leaving her standing alone in the cold snowfall, her breath trembling in the winter night. 2 days later, Emma packed her suitcase. Her flight to the US was the next morning. She understood why Julien pushed her away, but the pain still felt raw. She had come to France searching for silence, not expecting to find love. And now, she was losing it just as quickly. Before heading to the airport, she decided to take one last walk along the lake, the place where they first met. The wind was sharp, carrying flakes of snow across the frozen water. She lifted her camera one final time, framing the quiet landscape. When she pressed the shutter, she noticed a figure standing in the distance. She lowered the camera slowly. Julien. Snow clung to his hair, his breath visible in uneven clouds, his eyes full of regret and exhaustion. He walked toward her, steps hesitant but determined. "Emma," his voice broke, "please don't leave." She stared at him, speechless. "You told me to go. You made it clear." "I know," he said, "and I was wrong." His voice shook as he stepped closer. "I pushed you away because I was terrified. Everything in my life felt like it was falling apart, and you were the one thing that felt safe. I didn't think I deserved that." Emma felt her eyes soften. "Julien, I thought keeping you at a distance would protect you," he continued. "But all it did was break me even more. I don't want to lose you, not like this." He exhaled shakily, snow melting on his cheeks. "If you give me another chance, I swear I won't run from you again." Emma looked at him, the man who had shown her kindness, vulnerability, fear, and love, all in the span of weeks. She stepped forward, took his trembling hand, and whispered, "I'm still here, aren't I?" Julien closed his eyes as relief washed over him. He pulled her into a tight embrace, holding her as if winter itself could melt around them. Julien's father eventually stabilized, beginning a long but hopeful recovery. Emma postponed her flight and stayed in Annecy to support them both. She photographed the workshop rebuild, capturing the community's warmth and resilience. Julien helped her rediscover joy in small things: morning coffee by the lake, quiet evenings by the fireplace, shared dreams blooming in unexpected ways. And as winter gently turned toward spring, Emma realized something she hadn't expected. She didn't want to leave France anymore. One crisp afternoon, as sunlight reflected off the lake's thawing surface, Julien took her hand and whispered, "Stay with me, Emma. Not for a season, not for a moment. Stay because your heart belongs here, just like mine belongs to you." Emma smiled, tears warming her eyes. I already made that choice. And in the soft, melting light of a French winter, they sealed their promise with a kiss, the kind that felt like a beginning, not an ending. A reminder that love, even when shaken, can rise again stronger than before. A reminder that sometimes the heart finds its home in the most unexpected places. The town of Annecy watched it all, quiet and timeless, as two strangers who arrived from different worlds built something meant to last.